up, fellas? Welcome back to another episode of the Daniel Federico Show. Back for week 2. We got a lot of news to take care of today. Got the NBA Finals. Boston Celtics up 3-1. Got the Florida Panthers. They're also up 3-1. We're going to go into detail with those games. Got CFL highlights today. And what else do we have on the agenda? We have the NFL. Trevor Lawrence is the highest paid quarterback in the National Football League. And we got some MMA news, UFC 303 news actually, and the Euros kicked off. And we're going to talk about some Copa America as it kicks off later this week. Let's get into the show. We're back. So in this episode, you guys are going to see me wear 2 different shirts because half the episode I already recorded, and then the NBA Finals, Then the NBA Finals ended while I was recording. You guys are seeing the clip. I was actually watching the game as I was recording some of the episode. But now the NBA Finals is up. The Boston Celtics are this year's champion of the NBA.
This weight of massive expectations ends tonight here. It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. The Celtics are NBA champions.
And I can say for one, I am so happy that the NBA is over for this season. And yeah, surprised me in this finals. Luka Doncic's defense. Yeah, his defense has always been bad. But when it's the NBA Finals, I think he would turn up a notch. That's just me. Kyrie also non-existent. In this playoffs. And this game, he got locked up. He had 15 points in this game, and you need your stars to show out. You can't have Luka just be the only one scoring your points. He had 28 points. He can't be your only one. What else surprised me is Jaylen Brown was NBA Finals MVP, not Jason Tatum. I really thought Jason Tatum was going to get MVP of the finals. Did not happen. But Jason Tatum still played great. Played 44 minutes, 31 points, 8 boards, and 11 assists. I thought that was enough for him to get the Finals MVP because he played great this whole entire round, the whole entire playoffs. But they get to Jaylen Brown, and Jaylen Brown still didn't play that bad. He played 44 minutes, 21 points, 8 boards, and 6 assists. I really thought that Jason Tatum was going to get the NBA Finals MVP, but he didn't. But until next year, no. Until next year. The Boston Celtics, what I've taken away, they are one of the best teams of all time. That hurts me to say. I hate seeing Boston win. But I'll never take it away that they are great. They're a fantastic team, and they're very well coached. They have one of the youngest coaches, and he led this team to 60 plus wins in the regular season and to 16 wins in the playoffs. And they just cruised in the playoffs. Cruised past every team, especially the Dallas Mavericks. But we'll see the Dallas Mavericks again. No doubt about it. We'll see the Dallas Mavericks. If Luka Doncic can play some defense when it matters most, I think they would get a good shot. And if Kyrie woke up a little bit, showed up for one game, if he showed up for full 5 games, the series could have been different. That's my thoughts on the NBA Finals. The Boston Celtics are your champions. Let's go to other news. Jerry West passing. Jerry West has passed away later last week. Rest in peace to an absolute legend and an absolute icon of the NBA game, the basketball game. Another news, Charles Barkley will be retiring after the 2024-2025 season for broadcasting. He's been broadcasting for a long time since he retired, and it's about time. But hey, ever since the NBA losing the TNT rights, or losing the TNT losing the broadcasting rights to the NBA has absolutely, I think, shifted Charles Barkley's thinking of retiring, and that sucks. He was one of the best. There will never ever be a better pregame show than Kenny and the Fellas. So that's what I got for the NBA this week. As the summer goes on, we'll basically not be talking about the NBA that much, but we will be talking about the NBA and breaking news, contracts, and stuff like that. All right, let's move on to the NHL. Let's talk about the NHL. The Florida Panthers. They were up 3-1. They were up 3-0. They were up 3-1. Now they're up 3-2. The Edmonton Oilers have figured out Bobrovsky. In Game 4, they scored 8 goals. The Edmonton Oilers. 5 of them on Bobrovsky. Stunned. I was talking so highly on him, and it stuns me to say that he got figured out. He got figured out. And then in Game 5, Edmonton scores 5 on him. Bobrovsky actually scored 4 on him. They got an empty netter. But they figured out Bobrovsky. And the Florida Panthers, I don't know what's happening with them. It's not like they lost their juice. They actually did lose their juice. But it's not like, doesn't look like they're playing bad. Edmonton is just playing lights out right now. And Connor McDavid is playing incredible right now. But yeah, it's a 3-2 series lead heading back to Florida for Game 6. No, it's heading back to Edmonton for Game 6. They were just in Florida. Here is the clip of this insane play by Connor McDavid.
Do a shift as well, and watch Corey Perry. He comes on the ice just trying to stay invisible, stays along the boards, and then times this perfectly. 4 guys watching 90.
Right to Corey Perry, man. What a pass. What a play. Connor McDavid, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points in Game 5. It's an interesting series. I really thought Edmonton was done. I thought they were getting swept. No, they brought it back. And I believe Game 6. Well, Game 6 is actually happening on Friday. The show will probably be out on Friday. I know it's a little late upload, but because, man, we have so much going on, I need to talk about it. I talked about last week, and I need to talk about this week and this week. Can't wait for next week. Cannot wait for next week's episode. But if it goes to a Game 7, I will not be recording this show on a Monday. I will record it on a Tuesday. Because if it goes to Game 7, I want to watch Game 7 and I can talk about it. That's pretty much it. No microphone. Malfunction. But let's talk about this. Edmonton just randomly woke up. That's what it seems like. Coming to Game 4. Yeah, I'm going to decide to score 8 goals. 8! And that's exactly... I should have never recorded this episode at night. I'm getting bitten alive. Oh, well. And then they come into Game 5 and they're like, yeah, yo. Let's turn this series around. And that's exactly what they're doing. It's 3-2. Heading back to Edmonton with all the momentum on the Oilers. I think we're going to see a Game 7. I love Game 7s, especially in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I love Game 7s. That's all I have for the NHL. Another news in the NHL, the Utah has came up with their name, I'm pretty sure. Well, they opened up a Twitter account called the Utah Hockey Club. And if that's the name that they're going to be going with, I think it's lazy. They had a fan vote on the name, and I doubt the fans just picked Utah Hockey Club. Better change it. They have a cool colorway, cool jerseys coming out. I don't like the name, but I really like the team in Utah. I really like it. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I hope they change the name. They could have gone the Utah Grizzlies. Oh no, they can go. What was their names? I can't think of what the names they had on the. These mosquitoes are killing me. forget what the names was, but like there was for sure better names, but they picked the Utah Hockey Club. Come on now. Who finalized that? I know I wouldn't. But because it's part of their first year in Utah, then they will, maybe switch it next year. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. That's all NHL talk I have for this week. Let's go on to the CFL. And I'm sitting. I'll continue sitting this whole episode. I love it. I love sitting. And let's go to the CFL. I kind of like this episode of me sitting down. I really like it. So I'm going to continue sitting down for the whole episode. You guys will probably see me stand up in a little second, because I'm going to get fired up. I love reading highlights. And the CFL Week 2 has happened. A lot of drama. A lot of news. But before we get into the highlights, let's talk about a couple of things. Sean Oakman, Toronto Argos defensive end, has been released from the club. Question mark in my head. If you guys don't know about his story, he was wrongly accused of sexually assaulting a woman. Wrongfully, I say wrongfully. He tries to make his football comeback, comes to the CFL, and becomes a standout player with the Toronto Argos. Nice! Grey Cup champion. He was released by the team. Head scratcher. For sure a head scratcher. I'm a little confused by it. Hey, Daniel Federico, you guys want to pick up an American defensive end? Because I know you guys took away all your Canadian defensive ends. You want to pick up an American defensive end and add to the team? Take Sean Oakman. I know you guys are having trouble pressure to the quarterback. Sean Oakman's available, or you shouldn't have dropped all your Canadian football players. I can't go on a rant here. I'm not allowed to go on a rant here. A lot of people know why I can't go on a rant here. But the Sean Oakman getting released. I wonder what he's going to do next. I really liked him as a football player when he was at Baylor. The news dropped. I was a kid. I was a child. He was one scary guy. But him getting dropped by the Toronto Argos after he had a pretty good season last year and the season before, and he's a Grey Cup champion. Head scratcher. But hey, that's totally fine. Sean Oakman, he'll find a new club somewhere. Because why not? The Tiger Cats make a signing at a new quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. I can't even say his last name. Brother. Let me answer this text message for a second. Let me find a way how to pronounce. I don't want to butcher Tua's brother's name badly on here, and I'm gonna figure it a way. Let's see. I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna practice it right here, saying his brother's name. I can't even say Tua's last name. Tega Olivola. Can't even say it, so we just call him Tua. What's with your hard name? So we're just gonna call you Tua. But now let's say brother. Let's see. It's Tualia? Tualia Tagovailoa. A Maryland quarterback. You all know a lot about him. I know a lot about him. I just can't pronounce his damn name. It's so hard for me to pronounce. I don't know why it's so hard for me to pronounce. My head doesn't comprehend it and doesn't feel like I'm saying it right. Maybe I am saying it right. Tua Tagovailoa. No, it just doesn't sound right. So I'm not saying it right. But then his brother Tualia Tagovailoa. You guys, I hope you guys know what I mean. He's going to sign a quarterback. That's a quarterback of the future, potentially. Then will the Tiger Cats when Bo Levi Mitchell is out? Hopefully. Hopefully. Hopefully Bo's out soon. Hopefully. Hopefully. Signs a quarterback of the future. I like the signing. I like it a lot. I know Scott Milanovich likes it. Offensive coordinator / head coach. So once Bo goes down with an injury or just starts playing like poop, playing like ass, Incoming Tulia. Talulia. I don't know. I don't know his name. I can't pronounce it. I don't know how many times I practiced saying his name and I keep on butchering it. So you're going to go as Tua's brother until you become better than Tua. So Tua's brother is a Tamil Tiger. It's pretty cool. But let's get into the Week 2 highlights. And let's kick it off with the Blue Bombers versus the Red Blacks. Colares collapsed throwing 2 interceptions, but Niagara athlete Johnny Augustine scores a touchdown as starter Brady Oliveira was out due to injury. But a positive out of the Blue Bombers starting 0-2 is they might have just found a new stud receiver in Eric Wheatfall, who had 3 catches for 111 yards. In Drew Brown's redemption game against his old friends, he threw for 283 yards and a touchdown, where Justin Hardy had 7 catches for 111 yards. The Blue Bombers lost 29-13. They are 0-2, and they will play against the Lions next week. The Red Blacks will travel to Montreal. So let's talk about that game for a little bit. Damn! The Blue Bombers are 0-2. I don't know what to think about that. Pretty weird to think about that. Because all my time, over the past 5-6 years, they've been unstoppable. Dynasty always comes to an end. But we're only 2 games in. But they've a hard schedule. They have to go play the Lions. BC Lions. BC Lions are a good team. A young team. My thoughts on the Blue Bombers losing. I like it. Feels good. Feels like feels like the CFL is changing. And I'm okay with it. But no, they'll always pick it up. This is a team you can't count out. And no one's counting them out. It's 2 games in the season. But you just can't count them out. They could be 0-6. Don't count them out. Capiche? Let's move on to the next game. The Montreal Alouettes versus the Edmonton Elks. Montreal stays hot as they beat the Edmonton Elks in a close game 23-20. Where Cody Fajardo, who almost buffered his name, stays red hot since last year's Grey Cup game, throwing for 2 touchdowns and 269 yards. The Elks' pass game was non-existent as Bethel Thompson threw 2 picks in the game. Turning over the ball in a close game is a huge no-no. I don't care. We want Trey. Can we get Trey? I love Bethel Thompson. I love him playing bad even more. But we want Trey. Bring on Trey. I love when Bethel Thompson plays bad. Because sooner or later, they're going to have to put in Trey Ford. And why not better yet to do when there's keep on losing? Hey, if you want a chance to win it, damn near seems like put Trey in. But I'm going to keep on ranting about putting Trey in. Because I think the fans can see it. I think the world of football can see it. I think the Canadian football fans can see it. That Trey is rotting on that bench, wasting his potential on that bench. Chris Jones, don't want to call out a coach by any means, but I'll do it. Look at the stats. You're not a good head coach. You're wasting Trey's potential. Is it because he's a Canadian quarterback? Let's play that card. I think we should start playing this card. Is Trey on the bench because he's a Canadian quarterback? Shouldn't even matter if he's a Canadian quarterback or not. He's probably the best quarterback, and he's young on the roster. But hey, I think we should start thinking like, hey, maybe this guy's not playing because he's Canadian. It shouldn't matter. I'm not saying it matters. But I don't know how that coach thinks. How can you look at Trey and look at Bethel Thompson and go with the old man? How can you go with the young gun, the young flashy player that can bring you wins and bring you fans to your organization, or the old man? Chris Jones picks the old man. Okay. You keep on losing, you're out of a job. And this is the easiest job you can keep because just put Trey at quarterback. See, I'm talking about it. Now I got my heart pumping. Now I'm hyped up. Can I be the coach of the Edmonton Elks? I'll tell you guys won a Grey Cup in my first year. I'll tell you that. I promise. I'll promise that to Edmonton. No Grey Cup, fire me. Trey Ford should be your quarterback. Shouldn't have brought in Bethel Thompson. Yeah, he's going to learn behind Bethel Thompson. But the best place you can learn, playing the football games. How else are you supposed to learn without playing? The football field is your classroom, and you learn by making mistakes in football games, making mistakes playing. Yeah, the guy could teach you some other things like how to throw the ball. I don't know. I don't know what a veteran quarterback will teach. Trey Ford. For sure ain't running. That's for sure. Bethel Thompson will not be teaching Trey how to run the football. Maybe read the defense better. I don't know. Trey didn't have any mistakes last year that I saw. It just doesn't make sense. It's frustrating watching when you know you have a great quarterback literally just rotting on your bench. I'm not even an Edmonton fan. I could care less about them. I actually love them losing. But at the end of the day, it is so incredibly stupid, and I think the fans know that. I'm thinking the front office should start looking like, yo, why did we bring in this guy? All right, that's it. Let's move on before the whole episode turns into this. Lions versus the Calgary Stampeders. Vernon Adams Jr. gets back on track with the Lions defeating the Stampeders 26-17. In their home opener, where 50 Cent played as their opening act. Hello, money. And the Jonas Brothers are their Grey Cup halftime show in British Columbia. Dude, that's awesome. BC is bringing in the big names. Vernon Adams Jr. threw for 277 yards and 2 touchdowns and also rushing for 1. The Lions needed this bounce-back victory. The Stamps on the other side just simply got outplayed, but Jake Mayer threw for 339 yards, 2 touchdowns, but throwing a pick in the game. The Stamps' running game was absolutely non-existent, all game being shut down. The Stamps moved to 1-1 on the season with the Lions, but same with the Lions. Stamps will head into the bye week, while the Lions will go and play against the Bombers. All right, here's the final game of the week. The Tiger Cats versus the Saskatchewan Roughriders. In this game, I think the Hamilton Tiger Cats are cursed. But let's head into it. In the last game of the week, the Hamilton Tiger Cats are absolutely strictly cursed, choking a game that they were up 27-17 heading into the fourth quarter. But late in the fourth quarter, the Rough Riders tie it up, and the very first play, the very first play for the Hamilton Tiger Cats after the Rough Riders tied it up, the ball bounces off Tim White's chest into the Rough Riders defender to set up the walk-off field goal. Both quarterbacks played great, but the Tiger Cats are now 0-2 on the year, and the Rough Riders are now 2-0 under their new head coach, Corey Mace. What up? What up? Alright, I'm back. Let's mute this as I'm watching the NBA Finals. As we speak. It's a little zoomed in. Oh well, okay. The camera died. But before it dies again, let's talk about something, the dumbest thing I've ever seen. A fumble. A damn fumble. Man. James Butler, I'm going to roll the clip too, obviously. James Butler fumbles the football, and the Rough Riders defender gets it, picks it up. But because his helmet came off, they reversed it. And Tiger Cats got a 3 first down. And
Handing off James Butler. And the ball comes out, and the Riders are saying that they have it. What a big turnover this would be for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Currently in the hands of C.J. Rivas, and it is indeed a turnover. The fumble by Butler. Saskatchewan football.
Black or white ruling, clearly.
Saskatchewan, player without a helmet, played the loose ball. By rule, Hamilton's ball.
And this is what happened the next play. A flea flicker genius god play. And here's the clip.
And it's a 1st and 10 at the 36. They run a reverse, a flea flicker for Boley by Mitchell, and a wide open receiver. Keandre Smith tucks under 1 tackle. And how about that for the Ticats? Not a turnover, in the very next play is a huge one down to the Rider 15 and that reverse flea flicker.
Turn of events.
Mitchell back to work, looks to the end zone, touchdown. just like that. My goodness, this game changed in just a...
Yeah, that's CFL football for you right there. Love it. I love it. But that play has to change. The ball's right in front of him. Even though his helmet is off, I would pick it up. You would pick it up. Stupid. But that's all the time I have for the CFL today. Let's move on to the NFL. I really only have one topic in the NFL to talk about. Next week I'll have more of the Hard Knocks just got released, but let's save that for next week. Trevor Lawrence just got a mega contract extension to become the highest paid quarterback in NFL history with a $275 million contract extension. Did he prove himself that money yet? No. Will he live up to that contract? Time will tell. In that deal, it also includes a no trade clause. So, Trevor Lawrence, you're not going anywhere. So much money. Quarterback money. Put your kids into football and make them start throwing the football. You see in these contracts, the quarterbacks are getting in the last, 3 years? Longer? Well, forever. They've also always got big money, but like $200 million contract. I think Trevor Lawrence becomes the fourth quarterback to get 200 guaranteed. Let's see if I can find out who the other three are. Deshaun Watson is one of them. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert are the other quarterbacks to get $200 million guaranteed in their contract. Justin Herbert is not. Let's see how he does this year, but he hasn't lived up to it. Deshaun Watson has not lived up to it. Joe Burrow, I could say he has lived up to getting that extension. Justin Herbert, I don't think so. But you can just show that you can't. You don't have to live up to the hype in your first 4 years in the league, and you'll still get $200 million. Make your kids throw that football. They can get $200 million one day. That's all the time I have to talk about the NFL. This week. Next week, I'll have a bigger topic. The Hard Knocks just got released. We'll talk about that next week. I love Hard Knocks. I'm a Hard Knocks fan. But let's move on to UFC news. In UFC news, Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler are off. McGregor had to withdraw from UFC 303 due to injury. The new main event is Alex Pereira versus Prochazka. Whoa, Dana White, let me hear you say it so I could repeat it.
UFC light heavyweight champion Yuri
Prochazka. They're the new main event. Dude, I was excited to see Conor McGregor fight. I love it. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time. Injuries happen. He's not the same Conor that we grew up watching, adoring, becoming fans of. I truthfully think Conor McGregor has fought his last fight. That hurts me to say. That's weird to say. He hasn't fought in 3 years. He hasn't won a fight in 4 years. I think it's time to retire. Sadly, yeah, I'm getting bitten out here. Mosquitoes are killing me here. Don't know why I decided to record this outside, but hey, and a heat wave. But hey, like I say, you're listening to an idiot talk. And this was an idiot move. But yeah, UFC 303 on June 29th. Still got a pretty good card. It just sucks that Conor McGregor's not going to be fighting on it. That does suck. What can you say, though? You can't do anything about that. Injuries happen. I just hope comes back soon. It said it's postponed for a later date, but I truthfully think, my gut's telling me that Conor McGregor has fought his last fight. That sucks. But the sport's in good hands, to be honest. But we will miss Conor McGregor, and please fight soon. We love watching you fight. I could say that as the whole world. The whole world loves watching Conor McGregor fight. That's all I have to say about the UFC. UFC 303. Saturday, June 29th. Watch it. Still going to be a great event. Watch it. Let's move on to actually some Euros. about the Euros. It kicked off last weekend with Germany destroying Scotland 5-1. The host nations destroyed Scotland in the first match. And then our first full day of matches happened on Saturday with Hungary going against Switzerland. Switzerland destroying Hungary 3-1. And then Spain, Croatia. Spain looks incredible. I'm recording this too a day before Spain has to take on Italy. Italy has to take on Spain. Spain beats Croatia 3-0. I thought this was a group of death, and it is a group of death. And Croatia doesn't look that good. They tied Albania today. As I'm recording this today. Make sure it's a Wednesday. Wednesday, June 19th. Croatia tied Albania. If Italy beats Spain tomorrow, I'll be so pumped. It is what it is. Italy then, at the last match of the day, beat Albania 2-1. Let's talk about that game for a little bit. Albania scores with like 27 seconds into the game. My heart dropped. My heart sunk. Everyone I was watching the game with, heart sunk. You can hear a pin drop when Albania scored that goal in 25 seconds. I was like, oh no. And then Italy turned it up. And I was like, I was jolly again. Italy scored in the 11th minute and then the 16th minute. And then when we're in the lead, we don't give up the lead. We don't give it up. We don't stop. I don't know, we don't lose the lead when we go on top. Thank God Italy won that game. I have no idea what to do if Italy lost their first match to Albania. My article came out, and I have Spain winning the group. Italy coming in second, Croatia coming in third, and Albania coming last. I have Albania not winning a game this tournament. But I did have them to tie against Croatia, and that's exactly what they did today. Let's go on to the second full day of matches. England beat Serbia 1-0. Denmark and Slovenia tied 1-1. And Poland and Netherlands. Netherlands beat Poland. Started a little bit right there, 2-1. And Netherlands are my team to win the tournament. I still think it's going to happen. The third day was a little boring. We had France versus Austria. And that's where Mbappe broke his nose. He will be out for the next match. But wow, I can't wait to see him. What mask he will rock, and when he comes back from injury from breaking his nose, and it looked bad, blood all over the place. Yikes! That's a big blow to France. Belgium losing Slovakia. That stunned me. Lukaku. That's what they call him, Lukaku, because when we play so bad, Lukaku. Played awful. Oh my God. And then Romania beat Ukraine 3-0. And then Portugal beat Czechia 2-1, and Ronaldo looked good playing in that game. He looked real good. Just couldn't finish, but that's okay. Turkey beat Georgia 3-1, and then today Croatia versus Albania 2-2 draw. That was a great game. Albania's been playing actually like good. Like, they've been playing real good. Playing very good physical soccer and playing with great schemes, great techniques. They're surprising me. They'll for sure be back at another major tournament because they look real good. Germany beats Hungary 2-0, and Switzerland and Scotland tied. Scotland's having a bad tournament. A bad tournament. Shocked I am. Very shocked I am. But that's basically all the Euro scores that happened in the past week or so. Let's see what Italy can do. Well, before I record that, I'm recording this the day before they play, so it's not even going to come out. It's not coming out to Friday. I hope Italy wins. If Italy wins, I'm going to go crazy. But in other news, Copa America start this Thursday with Argentina versus Canada tomorrow night. Who I have winning this tournament, the Copa America, I have Brazil to win the Copa America this year. But let's talk about Team Canada for a second. Team Canada has to go against Argentina, Peru, and and Chile in Group A. Tough group for Canada. Easy group, you would say, for Argentina, and they'll probably win that group. But I don't think Canada's going to win tomorrow in that first match. But I want to see how they play against Argentina. I hope they play good, obviously, but I want to see how they play, the style of soccer they play, and if they could just, I think it's going to be like a 3-0 blowout, because Argentina's the World Cup champions. I want to see what they can do for Canada. For all of Canada watching, I think Canada will be all right in this tournament. It's going to be tough to say how they'll match up against Chile and Peru, but I think they'll beat Peru, and I think they'll tie against Chile. Maybe they'll make it out of the group. But let's see how they do, game at a time. But I do have Brazil winning the Copa America this year. Brazil's first game is June 24th against Costa Rica. And the greatest thing is about this, to being in Canada, or North America watching soccer, you have a game starting at 9 o'clock. Euros start at 9 o'clock and end at 3. And then at 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you have Copa America starting all the way till midnight, because the games start again at midnight to 9 o'clock games. But we only have one game started in the tournament. That's Argentina versus Canada at 8 p.m. For soccer fans out there, or should I say football fans, or my degenerate gamblers, you guys are going to have a crazy month. I think there's a total of 81 matches being played in this month. It's going to be pretty awesome to see. A lot of soccer on television. It's honestly a dream. If I can get paid as a career to watch just sports all day and just talk about sports, that's the goal. I'll do it. But instead, I'm not there yet, and I gotta go work a job and keep up with these games on my phone. It sucks. But then I go home and watch the highlights and talk about them. What's up? That's why next week we're going to talk about Argentina and Canada. See how Canada played in that game. But before I end it off, I want to reinstate my pick to win Copa America. Brazil! What up?